Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. About the latest in the shooting from Odessa, Texas, a little later in this broadcast. But first, something that's happening in Texas. The Texas laws that was passed 3 days ago. You've heard about this on your local news. But for those of you who haven't known what the new laws are, we're going to talk about that in today's show. So today's show is going to be all about the Texas laws. So while I'm learning this, I'm going to tell you, you may have heard these laws before on your local news, but for those of you that haven't, this is going to be your chance. Because these are the new Texas laws that have been added into the new year. So let's start with the state's 2-year budget calls for roughly $250 billion in priority school public school funding, teacher salaries, early child intervention programs. Now it's the Born Alive Act. The House Bill 16 requires doctors to treat a baby born alive in the rare instance of a failed abortion attempt. The smoking age. The new law, Senate Bill 21, will raise the age to buy tobacco products from 18 to 21. So in other words, if you're 18, so if you're 18 and you want to go buy cigarettes, sorry, new law says you gotta buy at 21. If you're under 21, if you're 18 years old and you're under the age of 21, you can't buy cigarettes. The new law, Bill 2048, will eliminate this program, which critics say traps low-income Texans in the cycle of debt and has survived many attempts to kill it because money fines help the state's emergency trauma care system. It offers alternative funding sources for trauma care. House Bill 650 makes a series of changes to state law that are designed to make state prisons more accommodating to female inmates. The bill will ban the shackling of pregnant women, require a trauma screening for each incoming female inmate, and require the Texas Department of Criminal Justice, or the TDCJ, to study the effects of visitation policies of women for the children. Free speech on campus. Senate Bill 18 filed in response to concerns that conservative voices were being stifled on campus, requires schools to allow people to engage expressive activities in outdoor common spaces. Telemarketers are banned in the state of Texas. Sunday, telemarketers will be banned from calling Texas using fake numbers that show up on the caller ID. Sorry. Senate Bill 1264 aims to prevent Texans from being hit with surprise medical bills in their healthcare provider or insurance company that can't agree on a payment. The measure ushers the disputes into a state overseeing process, keeping patients out of the fight. Lemonade stands. Neighborhoods and cities will no longer be allowed to enact regulations that block or regulate children trying to sell non-alcoholic drinks like lemonade on private property. Support for this new law grew after police in East Texas, the town of Overton, reportedly shut down a lemonade stand by 2 young siblings who were trying to earn money to buy a Father's Day present. Texas, the right to pump breast milk. Texas law will make it clear that women can pump breast milk whenever they want. Previous law allowed breastfeeding anywhere, but didn't specify pumping. House Bill 1177 will allow people to carry their handguns even if they are unlicensed, just like Oklahoma or Colorado. And a week after the governor declares a natural disaster. Seller disclosure houses floodplain. Senate Bill 339 expands the rules for selling property to require disclosures when a home in a 500-year floodplain or a flood pool or near a reservoir. They must say whether the home has flooded in a catastrophic event. Thieves who steal packages from people's front porches will start facing stiffer penalties. Penalties range from a Class A misdemeanor to third-degree felony, depending on the number of addresses mail is taken from. That's it. That's it for the laws. The fact is, if you're under the age of 21 and you want to go buy cigarettes, that under 21 ID that you have will not help you there. If they were to ask, can you see some ID? And you say, sure, and then you show them your under 21 ID, and they say to you, well, sorry, we have to follow the law. I think carrying handguns during a disaster is good. If you're unlicensed, you can carry a handgun, only in disasters. Lemonade stands? Well, as a matter of fact, I like this new law. Like, if I was to go sell lemonade out of my own property, you wouldn't even need a food handler's permit. So if I were to sell lemonade on my own property, it'd be okay, but as long as I didn't sell anything, you have to give everyone refunds. Sometime in the near future, we'll do an experiment to where I would sell lemonade, I would sell stuff on my property. Even in the state of Texas. So, while we're waiting for the for pregnant women, shackles on a pregnant woman, like, how are they going to move? I mean, if you're pregnant in prison, how are you going to get your abortion? I mean, how are you going to... I mean, if you're in prison, you're in prison. You don't get pregnant while you're in prison. Prisons don't have hospitals. You've done something wrong, you go to prison, and if you find out that you're pregnant, but you're in prison, they're going to find out about it. And then what else is going to happen is that it's going to be a big issue. You would have to be out of jail to go to the hospital in handcuffs. So you have to go back into jail. But who's going to take care of the child without the father? With no father around, then who's going to be the father? Certainly I will. If I was the father, then I would just put the child in the hospital until the mother comes out. Like, if you're serving a lifetime sentence for then you would have to wait for your child to. You have to wait till you get probation. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, while my computer starts to boot up, let's talk about detention. I said I was done with the back to school series, but there's still a lot more school to cover than meets the eye. I mean, detention. I mean, you go to detention. I mean, it's the local punishment. I mean, some people go to detention, some people don't. Some YouTubers I know, like some YouTubers I see, they skip their detention. Like, there's this child by the name of Luna who skipped his detention to go smoke marijuana. We'll get into the drug paraphernalia in just a little bit. But But seriously, you need to go to detention. If you refuse to go to detention, you may get to detention. So if you miss detention because you have a doctor's appointment, you need to let the detention guy know that. Just say, "Excuse me, I cannot show up to detention because I have a doctor's appointment." You've got to provide them with proof that you have a doctor's appointment or a dentist appointment. You need to provide, like if you have detention, you need to provide the detention teacher with proof that you have a dentist appointment. And just say, "I will make up the detention." And Saturday school's like mostly Saturday detention. You just sit there and just do your work. Just sit there and do nothing. You just sit over there and think about what you've done. It's kind of like Saturday school, but it's different. Still, it is not okay to be skipping detention. You go to detention, you sit there until detention ends. You may think it's not a big deal, but seriously, it is a big issue. Like if you go to detention, you just don't sit there and talk. You don't go to the bathroom unless it's an emergency. You just sit there and stare at the wall. No playing on your electronic devices, no cell phones, no talking, nothing. You just sit there. Alright. We're back in the moment. Now I'm gonna risk hearing a lot more stories about this. We hear all the time students bringing drugs in and people getting in trouble for it. We talked about it before when it was not okay to bring cigarettes. Even vaping is not allowed. I mean, it's tobacco products. Tobacco products are not allowed. Even alcohol. In the state of Texas, it's against it's a state law to make alcohol and alcohol on school grounds, on school property. Otherwise, you'll go to jail for violation of the state law. I'm serious. That's why drugs are not allowed. It can cause dangerous problems to a student next to you. And it's a safety issue for all students. I mean, when you go to school, you expect to be safe. You see people all the time bringing drugs and paraphernalia on school property. But it's a serious issue here. Next time I see that on my property, I'm just going to take it and put it out and send them to the office. Because you're not allowed to have drugs, alcohol, paraphernalia on school property. Because it is a serious safety issue here for everyone in school. Even chewing tobacco, dip. You don't expect me to find you off school property smoking, because if you're right in the libraries, because if you're like right in the library and I see you smoking, or I see smoke and I know it was you, I just take it out and say, "Give me this cigarette." And you say no. And then the next day, I just take you to the office and I tell the principal, "Hey, I caught these three boys smoking on school property." Because you know it's not allowed. You could have police action and you could be taken to juvie. You could be taken to jail for possession of drugs. I would just catch that and then send you to the office. because it is not allowed. You're not allowed to be smoking. I mean, we talked about this before on our Back to School week, and I feel like I talk about it again, because we see people all the time smoking on school property and getting away with it. That's a big no-no. Because I'm not going to be okay in this. You're not allowed to be smoking or drinking alcohol, because you're under the age of 21. Like, you drink at 21 and you smoke at 21. That's the basis of it. All right. We have more coming up. Now I'm going to bring you the latest on the Odessa shooting that happened 8 days ago. I mean, this is like a serious shooting. I mean, this is a serious mass shooting. We've had mass shootings like this year. First we had Columbine, then we had Sandy Hook, then we had Walmart in El Paso, then in Ohio, and now in West Texas. We need to stop these mass shootings. I mean, many people are being killed. We don't have the manpower. We need to we gotta have more gun laws. We need further background checks. We need to train people how to use the gun. I mean, the Second Amendment, yes, the Second Amendment does say you have the right to bear arms. If you need to defend yourself, don't go shoot up a school because you hate somebody. Like, if you're to threaten a school, it's a third-degree felony. Because it is a serious, serious issue here. One which I will not tolerate throughout Texas. There is literally no excuse. I will not tolerate this. Many people have been killed. No one defending themselves. And nobody is just... There's no excuse. There's no reason why you need to go do a mass shooting. There's no excuse. There's no reason for you to do it. The main cause of this is in video games. Like an M-rated game like Grand Theft Auto or Deadpool. Aggression can happen. You need to do further background checks. You need to strict laws in some states, except for Texas, because it's a serious issue here in Texas. We have, Odessa, we have it here in South Texas, and we got to toughen more laws, make them more strict. Odessa, Walmart is now banning the sale of ammunition. You can't buy ammunition. I don't know if Academy would. If it happened in a county or Odessa, they would ban the use of weaponry. Or the use of firearms. In my restaurant, if you were to carry a handgun with you, your boss wouldn't even allow it. You would just be simply asked to walk away, to leave. So the bottom line is, many people have been killed in Odessa. Nobody stopped. Nobody defended themselves. Nobody had time to get out. Alright, so... I got nothing more to say about these shootings except that we need to protect people. We should not be selling guns under the age of 21 because they're minors. Even cigarettes. Alright, we'll be back in just a moment. Alright, let's put the spotlight on substitute teachers. We care about our substitute teachers. We expect them to help out the regular teacher when the teacher's out sick. But here's the thing. Substitute teachers do require to be teachers. Some people may say they just don't know what's going on, they just sit there and do nothing. That's not true. Well, part of it's true, but most of it's not. The first thing they do, they take attendance, and then they read what the teachers left. They read the assignment what the teacher left out for the students. And then they have the right to report them to the office or write them up. If your substitute teacher allows you to go on your phones, then that's on the that's on the teach. That's on the sub. You might like the substitute teachers, or I've known several substitute teachers. I mean, subs do know what's going on. It's their job. They take attendance, and then they read to the students what the teachers left for them. Alright. Enough about substitute teachers, but I don't want to offend them more. Let's talk about bus drivers. Let's talk about the school bus. Many people are saying, I have the right to ride the bus. I should have the right to ride the bus. Actually, you don't. Riding the bus is a privilege. 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 Not a fucking right. You may be thinking we pay our taxes for these bus drivers. Yes, we pay our taxes. But you don't have the right to ride the bus. You have a privilege. If you do something not supposed to, like spit out the window, get out of your seat, the bus driver will have the right to write you up. And then take you to the principal's office with the bus contact report. Then sometimes it'll be like first offense 3 days, second offense 5 days, third offense you lose your bus privileges. Now, if you lose your bus privileges, that means you will not be able to ride the bus for the rest of the school year. I think that's what it means. Like if you see a student acting up, like, and that's why I've been telling you, cell phones are not allowed on the school buses. Why? Because it's distraction to the driver. Like if you distract the driver a lot, the driver will get into an accident. Whose fault is that? Your fault, because you decided to distract the driver. The bus's job is to take you from point A, B, C, and D. Point A is to your house to school. Point A and B is from house to your school. C and D, school to your house safely. You're not allowed to use your phones because it's a distraction to the driver. Even if drivers give you permission to use your phone, that's fine, but that's okay with the bus driver. But if there's a substitute bus driver, that's not allowed. You should not be using your phones on the bus because it can cause a distraction to the driver. Like I know the school rules. I've read the handbooks. None of the students have to read the handbooks. I've been saying this off and on. We need to have students sign the code of conduct, and students sign the handbook, and the parents sign sign. We gotta have parents sign the code of conduct, and the students too. Student signature, parent signature. They have to sign the contract stating that they will follow the rules and that they will abide by these rules. Even if you lose your bus privileges, you'll be telling your mom saying, "Hey, mom, what is it, son? I can't ride the bus anymore because I got in trouble. Can you take me to school?" That's the thing. I live not far from the school, so if I were to lose my privilege of riding the bus, I'm just talking to my mom and saying, "Hey," I would just say, "Hey, mom, what's up, son? I'm not allowed to ride the bus anymore because I accidentally spat out the window, stood up, was being insubordinate to the bus driver." I don't want people sitting there giving people. I want to see people sitting there giving a hard time. The bus driver is in charge, and they have the right to throw you off the bus. Period. So if the bus driver tells you to turn off the music, and you say, "No, I'm not going to turn off the music," and then you continue playing music anyway, the bus driver is going to say, "Don't ride my bus tomorrow." And then there was a video there was a video on YouTube that will explain it. We'll go in depth about this sometime on Friday. I just want to say that's all the time we have for. I just want to say that I'm not going to tolerate this kind of crap. You ride the bus with the bus driver. It is a privilege for you to ride the bus, not a right. You don't have the right to ride the bus, even though our taxes pay for the bus drivers to have students have transportation. That's different. We'll talk with you more about these. Talk more about school buses on Friday. But that's all the time we have for now. I would do this for a whole another hour, and it wouldn't make a difference. The bottom line is, you're not allowed to ride the bus. I mean, even if, don't be sneaking on the bus in disguise and say, "I need transportation." Well, walk to school. Just walk to school. It's not that hard. It's not rocket science. Alright. Friday we're going to talk more about the school bus. We'll talk more about the school bus. I think I've done this before back in 2018. We're going to talk briefly about bus privileges. See you Friday.